Welcome to the American Nomad USA YouTube channel. My name is Rob Hawley. If you found this video, it's probably because you're on YouTube right now searching around for information and reviews regarding Chime Online Banking. I myself have been using Chime Online Banking for a little over 3 years, going on 3.5 years. So I might not be an expert, but I think I have enough information to be able to pass along to you guys to give you guys some insight on what it's like and what's the difference between using an online bank like Chime compared to conventional bank like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or Chase. So without further ado, let's get into the review. So one of my biggest apprehensions when opening up a Chime account was the simple fact that there are no branches, no physical banks for you to walk into if you want to make a cash deposit. That was my biggest apprehension. So how do you make a cash deposit if you want to deposit cash? If there's no bank to go deposit to, like when I was a Wells Fargo customer, I could pull up at any time and use the outside ATM to deposit cash. Now, depending on where the branch was, that could be pretty sus, trying to deposit cash in the middle of the night. So how do you do that when there's no branch bank to go to? With Chime, they make it very simple. You can go to any Walgreens and deposit your money there at Walgreens. I think you can do it at 7-Eleven as well. I've never done it at 7-Eleven. The only place I do it is Walgreens because there's one right down the street from me. All I do is I walk in, I go to the cash register, I tell the cashier I have a Chime deposit, and they're like, okay, swipe your card. So you take your card. You got to make sure your strip works because you have to swipe the card into their card machine just like you were making a purchase. It reads your card. You give the cashier the cash. She puts it in the register, puts it into your Chime account. By the time you walk out the door, the money is already in your account. So it's super simple. I think it's simpler than the bank because there's Walgreens everywhere. It took me a while to do it because I was dreading it because I was like, I didn't want to go in like a busy Walgreens and have a bunch of people waiting behind me in line. I try to go in at times where it's usually off, where there's not a lot of people in there, like 2:30, 3 o'clock on a Monday, Tuesday afternoon. I've never even had to wait. I just go in, go right to the register, deposit the money, and I'm good to go. Super simple, super convenient. Okay, where do you get your money? What if you want to make a cash withdrawal at an ATM? Very simple. All you have to do is go on your Chime app, and they give you a map with all of the places that you can get money, which is 7-Elevens, AMPs, Walgreens, Targets, Walmarts. The list goes on. And there's certain, there's certain little blue that you can do a cash back. So, you can go to Speedway, and when you click on one of them on the app, it tells you this one is Granny's Donuts as an ATM. So it's literally no problem at all to get money. Here's a Target. You can get Target. So it's even more convenient than having a conventional bank like Wells Fargo. One of the reasons I stayed with Wells Fargo as long as I did was because Wells Fargo has so many branches that anytime I needed an ATM, I could look at my phone, Google where's the nearest Wells Fargo. Oh, it's 4 miles away. Okay. Well, instead of walking across the street and paying a $3 ATM fee to use the 7-Eleven ATM for an ATM fee charge, I'll drive 4 miles because I'm that much of a cheapskate to the Wells Fargo to use the ATM for free. And I have done that. You burn up $5 worth of gas to save a $3 ATM fee because I was too cheap. I hated paying ATM fees, and you never knew what the fee was going to be. If they were all like a flat $1 or $2 or whatever, it wouldn't have been as big a deal to me, but you never knew what the fee was going to be. Sometimes it was $1.99, sometimes it was $3.49. You just didn't know. But anyway, I would drive to a Wells Fargo. So I was super concerned about like, where do I go to get money, to get cash? Well, you can literally go, like I said, anywhere. Every 7-Eleven, there's no charge. It's all free. And there's places everywhere. I can literally walk to the 7-Eleven from my office that's 5-minute walk to withdraw money. If I wanted to walk to the nearest Wells Fargo, it's a 25-30 minute walk. It's like 3 miles away, 2 miles away. So in my opinion, Chime is way more convenient if you want to withdraw money. Now, another big thing about withdrawing money. When I was with Wells Fargo, my daily limit was $300 until I bitched and threw a fit until they finally bumped me up to $500. That means I could only withdraw $500 max in a 24-hour period. With my Chime account, I have personally went to buy a motorcycle and decided I wanted the motorcycle, and I went and I had to withdraw an additional $2,500 to buy the motorcycle. I went to a 7-Eleven a mile away, mile and a half away, and withdrew $2,500 in $400 increments, $20 bills out of a 7-Eleven ATM. Something you can't do if you're a conventional bank, if you have Wells Fargo or Bank of America, and I think Chase. I don't think any of those would let you do that. At their banks, you'd have to go inside, do a withdrawal slip, go up to the counter, and get the cash that way. I get it out of an ATM, and I've done it more than once. I've done $1,600 at a Target. Like I said, I did the $2,500, and I wasn't even in LA. I was in Lancaster, California, about 100 miles from LA. So I love that about Chime, because there's times I want to get a decent chunk of change out of the bank, and I was always dreading trying to do big withdrawals when I was with Wells Fargo. That's a distant memory. I don't have that problem anymore. I never thought I'd be able to get rid of my Wells Fargo account, so I had my Wells Fargo linked inside my Chime account. So if I pulled up my Chime account, it showed my Wells Fargo linked, and sometimes I would pass money or I would transfer money back and forth. Chime, it was free. And I think it was free with Wells Fargo as well, but Chime just makes everything so easy. So last but least, the last thing I want to touch on is if you're trying to build credit. When I started with Chime, I've been a cash purchaser forever. I'm not big on credit. A guy the other day on Facebook asked, like, hey, I want to build credit. Like, how can I do it? So I recommended Chime to him, because this is a Chime credit card. It's not real credit card, but it works like a credit card because it reports to the credit bureaus. So it's linked on your app. So on the top I have my credit, the middle I have my checking, and then at the bottom I have my savings. All of accounts are you can move money between all three of them. I don't know if you can really take money out of the credit. I don't remember. You try to keep like the same amount in there from when you start the account. So like if you start the credit account, don't put like $3,000 in there, because it'll want you to keep like $3,000 in there. Start with a relatively low amount, like a couple $100 or something like that. And then you add like your car payments and anything that's going to be like an ongoing every month payment. And as you make those payments, it reports it to the credit bureau and your credit will come up. I thought it was probably BS, but when I started with Chime, my credit score was in the, I don't even know, I think maybe in the high 400s, low 500s. I don't know. But I am happy to say Experian just sent me a thing the other day and my credit increased again up, and I'm getting back to good credit. I have a 695. I'm looking forward to trying to hit a 700, hopefully, if that works. Everything goes right and everything doesn't go south. So anyway, I love that aspect of it too. So if you're trying to build credit, you can look at Chime for their credit account. Last but not least, one of my favorite things about Chime as well is there not anything that's my favorite thing? Is if you have a Chime account, they give you in the app a referral link. So if you refer a friend, family member, anybody that uses your link, if they set up direct deposit from their job, the first direct deposit that goes into their account, you both will get $100. They do promotional things every now and then, so the person with the link gets $150. They just had one on the 4th of this month, and it was $175. So it's a nice little chunk of change. I've made like $300. I've referred 3 or 4, maybe it's 400, 3 or 4 friends. Now, the only thing about it is there's a 10 sign up limit, or there used to be. So the maximum people you can refer is 10. So you can make $1,000, which is crazy. No other bank has done that for me. I love Chime. I think if you're trying to save some money and you don't want all of those, you know, it just seemed to me like when I was with Wells Fargo, they were just charging me and charging me and charging me. Bank fees, overdraft fees, this fee, that fee, this fee. You don't have any of that with Chime. It's all free. How can it be free, you ask? Well, you know, that was kind of what I was like, how can it be free? That's like too good to be true. That doesn't even make sense. So it can't work, right? There's got to be a catch. Well, there's no catch really. The catch is they don't have thousands and thousands of branches all over the country that they have to maintain because of their high overhead. They don't have $1 million branches that's got to have 10 to 15 employees in each branch running the branch. So, and I think they make their money, they make actual money. I think they make their money on the direct deposit somehow, because they're really big on the direct deposit. If you link your work account and you get direct deposits, instead of having to work till Friday, you can get paid on Wednesday. So anyway, I hope that answers some of your questions. If you had any questions or apprehensions about Chime, I hope that's a quick in-depth look at my experience with Chime. Like I said, I'm no expert, but I wanted to give you guys like a good, honest opinion of Chime. And believe me, I'm picky. And if I'd had any problems with Chime, like, I didn't trust it. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was super sus when I first signed up. That's why I signed up and never even used it. I had the envelope. I had the card in the envelope for probably a year, maybe 2 years before I ever ripped the envelope open and decided to activate it and start trying to use the account. And my only regret with Chime is I didn't do it a lot sooner. I wish I'd have done it the day I got the card and got rid of Wells Fargo. That's going to do it for this video. Until next time, keep looking up, because that's where it all is. Peace.